So, all right, you said you have over 50 now? Is that how?
Yeah.
How many? And how many rooms do you have there?
Bedrooms, I have like in my outside run, I have 5 condos.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 outhouses. I have a trailer that I built into a dog room. I have 9 bedrooms, 11. I just added 2, so 11 bedrooms. I have 4 kennel rooms.
Mm-hmm.
I have 1 community room that has 6 dog cages in it. I have
Are any
an
dogs
office.
housed together?
I have 1 dog that's unadoptable. She was a rape victim of a
What?
breeder. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like when they went in, they raided the house. They found rape chairs, like where they would hold her down and
Oh
do
my
their
God.
business. So but she was traumatized. She hates men. So we did adopt her out once. She went underneath the deck and stayed underneath there for 3 days. The people had to take their deck apart, and we went and we took her back. But she has a little service dog named Sunny. So they stay together. But the rest of them, I don't keep any dogs. During the day is a little bit different. I'll put dogs paired up. But at nighttime, for the safety of all, not only the animals, but also for us, because, animals can't speak. We don't know if they have a little beef going on.
Yeah.
If something happens in the middle of the night and we walk into a dog killed, I wouldn't be too happy.
So what's the day in the life? You said you get there at 9.
Yeah, we start at 9 a.m.
And how many people are working there right now?
Right now, we currently have, on a everyday basis, at least 5 people running in the morning. Then in the afternoon, a couple more coming, and at nighttime, probably about 3.
Okay, so someone's always
but those are
there
workers.
until, yeah.
Those are workers. I also have.
But do the dogs get walked like around the block every day, or they just go into the run?
No,
Like, how does it work?
we have outside. We have play groups that could play, like really large groups that could play together. So I focus more on the singles for walking.
Okay. You mean the dogs that can't play?
Yeah. So if they're a dog that goes into a play group, they won't be worked first. They won't be walked first.
Got it.
Right. So I have several dogs that are not dog friendly. So those dogs are always out. But I also need people that want to walk dogs.
Yeah.
So we focus more on the play groups and the individual walks first to satisfy them. I have one dog walker that comes in, and he'll walk every single dog that needs to be walked before 1 o'clock. Then he leaves at 1. He comes back at 4, and he works 4 to 8. So he does a split shift. He takes care of his kid as well.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like the one that we count on to walk those dogs mainly. But then I have people that come in throughout the day. I don't know if they're coming. I don't know if they're going. So when they come in, they're like, hey, I'm here to pick up Star. Star goes out for the day. Hey, who's next? And then we just put them back into the rotation.
And do you foster dogs from there?
To be honest with you, I'm not foster based.
Okay. Why? Because you don't believe in people? Or?
I don't trust just anybody. But when I started this mission, I didn't know much about rescue.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was a drug addict my whole life. I was a contractor. I didn't start a rescue because I was working with rescue. So I just thought that I rescue them and I'll take care of them and find them homes. And the more and more that I learned rescue and people, I don't really trust many people, especially the people that say I want this dog, and it's like, okay, but I don't know anything about this dog.
Yeah.
That's fine, we'll work it out. And then the second that the dog growls or the dog snips at somebody or runs out of the house, right away it's like we're dropping this dog back off. And it's like, I don't have time for that. So I'll take all the problems, we'll figure it out, we'll learn the dog, and we will hopefully place the dog with the right family, and they don't have to worry about this.
How often are people coming in to look at the dogs to potentially adopt them?
I mean, if it's puppies, they're there the second I post them.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs that come in with stories, like I said, when they're rehabilitated and ready to go, often forgot about. I would say that I have somebody potentially looking for an adult dog maybe once every 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I've seen you do not fundraisers, but a dog adoption days, right? And how do those
We just started doing it. Like I said, I wasn't familiar, and for a long time I wasn't a nonprofit. I was independent, so I thought that I wasn't able to do some things, and then then I became a nonprofit. And when I became nonprofit, it's another thing with society, is that society will judge pipples and addicts right off the jump. So they declined my nonprofit status, that name,
because of the name,
because of my name. So that's when I started Broken Souls Rescue and Recovery. So now that I thought that I was a legit rescue, I can go out and start hosting events. The events are okay. You know, like I've had, you know, maybe 4 adoption events and maybe got 6 dogs homes. So like, you know, this year I do plan to step that up a little bit. But I also offer something different. I also tell anybody who's looking to adopt a dog, come down and meet our dogs.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to rescue a dog. I don't want you to rescue a sad story. All of our dogs have sad stories. Like, forget the story. Come down and see what dog works for you.
Yeah.
You know, like I have dogs that, you know, will work for basically anybody. But I just think that being in New York is a little bit different. I think that if I was like upstate or somewhere where just the people are different. Like I'm in Staten Island. It's, you know, everybody wants that perfect dog.
Yeah.
You know, upstate, and, you know, I'm finding more and more, like, because now my outreach is getting, you know, bigger and you know, like now it's like I just drove a old man Max. I had a dog that had a tumor hanging off of his neck when he was rescued. We cut it off. We rehabilitated him, got him socialized, and he sat there for months. I put out a story. This woman was like, I would love to adopt him. My car's not too good. I'm up by Niagara Falls. I was like, I will bring him to you.
Oh, my God.
So when I went up there, she's
Hold
like...
on. How did you do enough research on her to know that you weren't going to drive 11 hours
No,
or whatever?
no. We, well, first of all, I spoke to her on the phone. I looked through her Instagram. Her dogs were very well taken care of. She was like that dog mom. She orders Bark Box. She was very in tune with her dogs that I could see.
Got it.
She was a single mom. She lived with her daughter. We do a video FaceTime where we make them walk through the house. Walk through your house, and then when we look at it, it's not that I'm looking to see if you're clean, right? Because everybody could hide anything. You could make your house look immaculate.
Right.
I'm just looking at, is the place a disaster? Is it filthy? Like, you know, I just look at little things, right?
Right.
But the most important thing is that the yard. So like, if they don't have a yard, it's a different story. But she said she had a yard, so she would have to FaceTime and walk around the yard, so I make sure that everything is safe and the dog's not going to get out.
Right.
So after I seen all of that, I said, okay, I'm going to drive the dog up. We left the night before, dropped him early in the morning. I did the introduction between him and the other dogs. I met her. I watched her walk him. And when it was time to go, I said, listen, I'm going to go to Niagara Falls for a couple hours. I'm going to spend the rest of the day here. I want you to call me and tell me that everything is good before I go home.
Right.
So like when I get there, you know, I already know what I'm walking into. You know, her house was great, you know, and her backyard was great. That's all the dog needs. I'm not looking to see, you know, anything else. I don't care if you have dishes in the sink. I don't care if you have clothes on the bed. I don't care about none of that. That's your home. It's just the home that you're bringing another dog into.
And
is
how
that
did
dog?
it go?
It went great. It went great.
And you never had to hear from her again?
No, now we hear just now we
nice
build a lot of relationships with all of our, like, I mean, it's very important to me to stay, you know, very close and connected with all of my adopters, because like if something happens to my dog and you can't cover it, I'm gonna cover it.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, like I'm gonna make sure that my dogs are okay. When we rescue them at rock bottom, they get a promise.
I love that. And I love that when you walk into the home, you have that leash wall.
Yeah.
Where you take, is it the former leash that they came with?
Yeah, so whatever ones have a leash or a collar, we take it off. We give them a new collar with a new leash at life.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So you think that even these dogs that are, I mean, they're getting out at least once a day, right? These dogs?
4 times.
Okay, great. And
my dogs go out minimum of 4 times.
And they're eating well and they're happy. So if they are not being rehomed immediately, they are happy.
Yes.
And well taken care of.
Correct.
Let's go through a couple stories of dogs that you really want to see adopted that have been forgotten there. That are ready, that could be adopted.
Yeah. So one of the dogs that really always stands out is Casper. Mm-hmm. Casper was rescued 3 years ago from the ACC. They were going to kill him. They labeled him aggressive. Okay. I had this girl, Vanessa, was sending me him for a week that he was on the list, and the day before, she sent me a video of him at his kennel, and he was like looking out, and he was down, and she was like petting him through it, and she wrote me a message that, you know, he hasn't been out in 4 days. They're gonna kill him tomorrow, and he's deaf. He's not aggressive. And I was like,
she worked there, or she was just
she was a volunteer there. And I was like, I'm gonna come get him. Like, I can't let this boy get killed. So when I got there, they were like, you have to watch. We need certain people to take him out. They were just like telling me everything that I, like as if I was a normal person, why I wouldn't rescue him.
Right.
And then I was like, listen, take this dog out and put him in the yard with me. And finally they took him out. He hadn't been out in 4 days. He came into the yard, came right up to me and sat down. And I said, okay, can I sign my paperwork and get out of here? So Casper just likes to play, but he's vocal. He has a high prey drive because he's a pet. He's deaf, so which means that he's special needs. When he plays, he...
Yeah.
But he's reactive towards other dogs. That doesn't make him aggressive.
Right.
That just makes him a little special.
Yeah.
You have to understand these dogs. Not every dog, especially dogs that have been, thrown away like trash, are gonna, trust another dog. So Casper's been with me for, I think about 3 years. He's a white boy. He's white. He's deaf, and he's beautiful. He's got such a loving personality that all he wants to do is either play or sit in front of you and look ahead. He doesn't know that you're behind him. He loves to be just rubbed, he falls down. It's like a beautiful, beautiful experience when you could actually be a part of it.
Yeah.
Knowing he was going to be killed for aggression, he's not aggressive. There's nothing aggressive about him.
So he would need to go into a family that does not have
another
single
dog. Pet home, loves children, loves humans, and he's just an easy dog. He's non-destructive.
How old do you think he is?
About 5. Okay. He's something else. And again, when I took that dog, right, my intentions were not to have him grow old with me. Right. It was to find somebody who wanted a special needs dog. I rescued a special needs dog, and it saved my life. So I have a thing for special needs. Right. I have dogs with 2 legs. They're mine. But, I took those dogs in because who would want a dog with 2 legs?
Right.
I want a dog with 2 legs. Who would want me? But now I want it myself, Right. So special needs in me, even with special needs children and special needs adults, I just have a real soft spot for special needs. I thought that it would be an easy adoption. Get him out of harm's way, get him safe, learn him a little bit, and place him. At the time, my platform wasn't what it is today, but I post him today, and I get no action. It's like he's just looked right past. But if I said he was going to be euthanized, he would be adopted.
Right.
And I refuse to play that role.
Right.
No dogs in my care will ever be at the risk of being euthanized.
Do any of the dogs you have really get anxious every night when they have to go back in their cage?
Not one of them.
They love their home.
I say go home, and they run home.
Aww.
They all wait on their bed. Even the cage dog. Again, I didn't build this to keep dogs in cages. It's just that I really rescue abuse and neglect. Yeah. Here in New York, there's a lot of abuse and neglect. Yeah. I am one of the first ones that people call when they send me that photo, and I get it, and I'm like, I'm rescuing that dog. Yeah. That's it. I don't ask questions. I don't have to ask a partner. I don't have to ask anybody. I'm not worried about money. I have a vet that's right behind me. I have people that are right behind me. I am the founder and operator of my organization. I don't got to ask no questions. I do what I have to do. Right. So if I say I'm taking a dog, I'm taking a dog. And with that mentality, it brought me to having 50 dogs. But it's not even overwhelming for me, to be honest with you. I've built such a structured program. My dogs are their cages are safe places. They're safe in there. So our dogs don't get anxious. They're not sad. Our dogs are happy.
Are people donating beds? Can people donate things?
I have a wish list on there's a link in my bio on Instagram. Okay. My donations, I said, I have an amazing support system. I've built, people like my work. They like to see what
and you
they're
have
donating
$5 Fridays or
$5
something?
Fridays.
Explain that.
So $5 Fridays is when you could donate $5 Fridays, $5 to platforms. I use Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, directly onto my website.
And the money goes to what?
That money keeps our operations going. So I do independent fundraising for the dogs that come in. Some dogs I'll make it like this, and some dogs, it's a struggle. I've never itemized a medical bill. I just do it differently because I have so many dogs underneath my care. Right. So everything goes into the same bank account, and I pay all the bills necessary.
But are there enough beds in all the cages? Are they all comfortable?
Yeah, every dog is comfortable. Okay. If we don't have something, I go and get it.
Right, okay.
If we run out of food, I don't put up the urgent, our dogs are not going to eat.
Right.
It's like I go to Petco, I buy the food, and then I just say, hey guys, the dogs need food.
Right.
When they see that, they buy food, you know. I actually just got an amazing donation from BarkBox. They sent us 140 bags of dog food.
That's amazing.
So that will last us 60 days or so. You know, the support is amazing. I have support from across the world.
So